Welcome to the regular meeting of the Morganton City Council, November 4th, 2024. This time I'd like to ask Butch McSwain if he'll lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. If you'll please rise.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Is Latrice here?
She is.
Hey, call on Latrice Lively at New Hope in Christ Church to lead us in an invocation. Thank you for being here.
Amen. Thank you for having me. Let us bow our heads. My Father and my God, we come before you as humble as we know how, just thanking you for your presence. Father, for without you we can do nothing, but with you all things are possible. So I thank you for the spirit of gentleness, kindness, meekness, and joy that would fill the room. And I pray for everyone under the sound of my voice. May you bless them one by one, name by name. And we just give you all the glory, honor, and praise for this opportunity to come together in unity and have solutions and just resolve. It's in Jesus' mighty name that we pray. Amen. Amen.
Thank you, Latrice. Thank you. I'd like to reintroduce council. On my far right, Wendy Cato, Mayor Pro Tem, Chris Jernigan, City Council, Louis Vina, Interim City Attorney. I'm Ronnie Thompson, your Mayor, Sally Sandy, our City Manager, Butch McSwain, City Council, Chris Hawkins, City Council, Renee Carswell, our City Clerk, and we have communicating with the deaf, Danette Stillman Bridges, I believe. Okay. Okay, our first order of business is to recognize some of our long-term employees. Our first employee is going to be Michael Burley, 25 years of project designer in development and design. I'll ask Chris Jernica if he'll make that presentation and ask Michael to come forward, please.
Hey, Michael. 25 years is a long time.
It is.
I don't know if it seems like it's 2 years or 200 years to you.
Both.
But yeah, both, okay. All right. Folks watching on TV are probably saying there's no way he could have been here 25 years. He must have started when he was about 10. But I want you to know how much we appreciate you. The things that folks really do not know is all the things you've touched in this city. When you see artwork in this city, when you see a lot of the landscaping and those kinds of things, Michael's been a part of that. Michael has, within the planning stages of all the landscaping but a lot of things that he's created and all the art that we have here in our city hall, he is in charge of bringing those artists in. He just does a tremendous amount for Morganton and to keep it beautiful and looking good. We appreciate you so much and want to recognize you and congratulate you on 25 years and thank you for all that service.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
We have another employee, Austin Lovelace, 20 years, street sweeper, street department, and public works. He was not able to be with us tonight. Under public advocacy, tomorrow, some of you may know, it's election day. We encourage everyone to vote. Next on our agenda. Okay. Next on our agenda is I'm going to call on Fred Dolan to come forward. Fred is with FEMA and going to make a presentation. Thank you for being here.
Yes, sir. Thank you, members of the council. Thank you for having me. Fred Dolan with the Federal Emergency Management Agency, or FEMA, as you heard that acronym over and over recently. Very grateful for the opportunity to speak with you tonight and crestfallen for the reason that I'm here speaking with you tonight. It goes without saying the impacts on Western Carolina are devastating, and we are in the recovery. I do want to acknowledge the strength and the resiliency of the community. Something like this is catastrophic, and no one organization can deal with this. It takes all levels of government, but it also takes the people, the community organizations, the faith-based organizations to work, and it's working in North Carolina. I've seen more resiliency here in North Carolina than I have in other states, and I'm probably going to lose it because I got ties to Western North Carolina. But I did want to tell you, so far, over a quarter of a million North Carolinians have registered for assistance. Over $200 million have gone to those individuals. Within the county itself, over 11,000 folks have registered for public assistance, for individual assistance. That's individuals, households, families. I will tell you that we do have the transitional shelter assistance program where folks can now live in their house. They're currently in hotels, helping those folks out. But just about over 100 folks are currently in that program. So, and trying to move them to the next step in the process. The deadline for individuals to register for individual assistance is November 27th currently. It could be extended, but right now it's the 27th. So I would please recommend we get the message out for those folks to register. There's several different options. There's an app, if you want to put it on your app, there's a FEMA disaster assistance app. They could go to disasterassistance.gov. That will also allow them to register. There's an 800 number, which I will read out, 1-800-621-3362, which is an option. But for the people in the city, I will tell you the crown jewel of FEMA's individual assistance program is right over there at the Foothills Higher Education Center, Disaster Recovery Center. If you've registered and you have questions, you can go there, show them your letter, give them your case number. They will explain what's going on. It's not just FEMA over there. The Small Business Administration is over there as well. Local resources are over there, and there's information about other community organizations. The other program we have, and I want to highlight it just really quickly, is the Public Assistance Program, which really the focus is on the municipalities, to help reimburse for damage from the storm. And that's well underway. But one of the things I do want to highlight is houses of worship and some certain nonprofit organizations that were impacted for the storm are also eligible for this program. So if they're damaged, they can potentially be reimbursed for the costs that they've incurred. So I would love to help get the message out, the word out on that. I will leave information here at the town hall. You have my email address, my phone number. If you come across constituents with issues or you have questions, please reach out at any time, and I'll stick around afterwards to answer any questions that might occur.
Fred, thank you so much for sharing that with
For all
us.
you're doing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Next, I'll call on Chief Jason Wisnut to present a citizen commendation. Chief?
Good evening, members of council. Thank you for carving out some time for me this evening to recognize three individuals. And I rise tonight to recognize these individuals publicly that went above and beyond either in their day-to-day lives or during their scope of duty. Two individuals on August 22nd, 2024, officers with public safety responded to a local restaurant in reference to an assault in progress. While the officers were en route, they were advised a male subject was actively assaulting a female victim. Officers responded to the call with their lights and siren as quickly as they could get there. And when they arrived, they found that the suspect had been separated from the victim by bystanders. Upon further investigation, it was found that the male suspect had pushed the door to the bathroom open as a female was coming out of it. The suspect then pushed the female back inside the bathroom and locked the door behind him and began to assault the victim. Wiley Wilson and Bethany Wilson were eating at this location, much like any of us would be at that time of the evening, and they observed the suspect standing at the bathroom door. Both citizens kept watch on this person, feeling that something was not quite right, and that's when they observed him enter the bathroom. And as they attempted to open the door to free the victim, they were able to break the door in and separate the suspect from the victim as the officers were arriving. The victim was transported to a local hospital for further evaluation and treatment for her injuries. And in a society where many people would not get involved in such as that, Wiley and Bethany Wilson put themselves in a potentially dangerous situation and in order to protect the victim. Their quick response prevented the suspect from escalating this assault, which may have brought more harm to this young woman. They are both to be commended publicly for their actions and putting others before self. And it gives me great honor to introduce to you tonight and to recognize Wiley and Bethany Wilson for the agency's Meritorious Service Medal for Distinguished Civilian Service.
Wife didn't want to say much, but I'll say a little bit. Sorry. It's a touchy subject. We're just glad that we was at the right place at the right time. Talked to Sergeant Paterno, and he said that, law enforcement can't be everywhere, so they depend on the citizens too. So we're just glad that we was able to help her, and just to let everybody know that the more people that stand up and do what's right, the less likely the evil's willing to progress. So we're thankful.
Thank you.
Molly, thank you so much. I'll ask Chief to step forward for an officer commendation, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. On August 7th, the officers were dispatched to Old Colony Road in reference to a very serious motor vehicle accident involving personal injury. Within minutes of the initial call, PSO Michael Ziegler arrived on scene and performed a scene size-up. He observed a male subject entrapped inside of a mangled pickup truck and determined that the subject needed immediate medical attention, as he had suffered a potentially life-threatening injury to his leg and was bleeding from his femoral artery. PSO Ziegler took life-saving measures to slow down the bleeding by utilizing a tourniquet, which the agency had recently issued these within the past couple of years. After the tourniquet was applied, he radioed dispatch and notified EMS, the Burke County Rescue Squad, and all responding units what he needed, what measures he had already taken on the driver in order to stabilize his traumatic injury. PSO Ziegler's quick response, his critical thinking, his stable mindset, and his ability to apply his training and knowledge, also that of a retired Chief Master Sergeant and a pararescue with the United States Air Force, and those life-saving skills. It changed the narrative of this driver's life. PSO Ziegler's professionalism and actions reflect positively in the best in our public safety officers, upon himself and the City of Morganton and the Morganton Department of Public Safety. And at this time, it gives me great honor and privilege to present PSO Michael Ziegler with the agency's Meritorious Service Medal for Distinguished Service in the Line of Duty.
Sure. Well, excuse me. Thank you, everybody. I'd be remiss, get a little choked up. I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about my team back there. Previously, you said right place, right time. Those guys are at the right place, right time, every time. So thank you all for, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be here for them, or without them, and I'll always be there for them. So thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, thank you so much. Next, I'd like to call Mayor Pro Tem Wendy Cato to the podium, along with Janelle Sigmund, our Public Information Officer.
No, this is just a radio ad. So Jonelle is going to tell us about a fall radio ad that we submitted to Electricities.
So a few months ago, Electricities always has a fall radio ad competition, and pre-Hurricane Helene, we had written a radio ad, and then the hurricane came, and before the hurricane came, I was notified that I won, and after the hurricane hit, we decided we were going to kind of redo the narrative to it, and I think Chad's going to play it for us.
Great.
Hurricane Helene brought devastation to Morganton and western North Carolina. Power lines and trees down everywhere, catastrophic flooding, homes and businesses lost. The first light to shine in the dark? Our City of Morganton line workers coming to repair our damaged electric system and restore our public power. As your hometown electricity provider, we always put you and our community first. You are our priority. Learn more at morgantonnc.gov.
To a radio station near you. So I think it's very good that we recognize the heroes during Hurricane Helene, and yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. Next, I call on Chris Jernigan and to go to the podium with recognition of Michael Burley.
We did that.
Do you have that?
We did that.
Okay.
Michael's going to do an award.
Michael's going to do one. Okay.
Michael's going to do it. Okay. Forward. All right.
Again, I'm Michael Burley. I'm the project designer for the city of Morganton and also a landscape architect as part of that. And being a landscape architect, there are continuing education credits that are required yearly. So this year I attended the NCASLA conference in Asheville, which is the North Carolina American Society of Landscape Architects, North Carolina chapter. Every year they do state awards, and this year was no different. The awards are submitted by firms, and then they are sent off to be judged by our peers. I think this year's awards were sent off to Maryland and were judged on. There were 17 total awards given at the conference. They were in categories including analysis and planning, communication, general design, residential, and urban design. And Chad is back there. He's scrolling through some of the shots of the application that was sent in for the award. The City of Stimble Associates submitted the award, who was our firm that did the courthouse square, and the courthouse square won a merit award for urban design. That was accepted by myself and Kimberly Barb of Stimble Associates out of Winston-Salem. You can see pictured on the screen. And the NCASLA president, Drake Fowler. You can see a listing of the awards on the NCASLA website. And also, I think it was the August edition of Landscape Architect magazine, which is on your screen. They also listed, this is a national publication. The awards were also listed in this publication. So the award that was received is here, and this will be hanging in the Development and Design Department next to the other award that the Square won from the American Planning Association.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And Michael can just.
Okay. Next on our agenda are Community Appearance Advisory Commission Merit Awards. Call on Cheryl Graffin, to the chairperson of the Community Appearance Advisory Commission, to present the awards. She'll come forward.
Again, I'm Cheryl Grattan. Would the CAAC members of the, that are in attendance come to the front, please? There you are. Okay. All right. I'll introduce you. We have, yep, over there. So I think we're in.
You know, Michael, he likes it just so.
Okay, we have in attendance tonight, we have Martha Franklin, Judy Lane, Emily Bartlett, Leslie Geezy, and James Bagley. The CAAC is a mayor-appointed citizen commission that initiates, promotes, and advises the city council on community aesthetics. CAAC awards are considered annually for commercial properties that have gone above ordinance requirements and are making significant enhancements to the appearance of Morganton. By their example, they are encouraging others to do the same, and that elevates Morganton's appearance to a higher standard of living, which then encourages public and private investment in our community. We have 4 awards, Merit Awards recipients this year. When your names are called, please come to the front, and you will have the opportunity to make comments after you receive your award. The first group is Jim Toner for Toner's Irish Pub at 308 Green Street. And then, okay.
They're serving
The
dinner.
Toners have taken one of the city's oldest buildings and transformed it, bringing a touch of Ireland to downtown Morganton. It's absolutely beautiful inside and out and an asset to our community. Congratulations. So, set that aside. The second award is for Amy and Scott Brooks, their property at 123 and 125 West Union Street, where Paradise Glass is located. Please come to the front to receive your award. Scott and Amy renovated the building's stucco, revealing the red brick masonry. They also added a new wood facade and improved the overall property curb appeal. This tasteful renovation adds a unique improvement to the West Union Street. Congratulations. Do you have any comments? Okay.
That's a first.
Okay, I'm James Bagley, Vice Chair of the CAAC. Our third award goes to Thad and Chris Bergelin for their property at 111 West Union Street, the location for people-centric computers. They have enhanced the detailing by a complete new street-level facade, reestablished clear story planners, and overall property curb appeal. The community commends you on your efforts at this location and for setting a positive example for others in the community. The Bergelins could not be here tonight, so we will deliver their award in the coming days. And our last award goes to Amber Ledford and Justin Fabry for the Glenwood Hills Apartments at 1300A Berkmont Avenue. Please come forward now. All right. Since being constructed, the managers have properly maintained the landscaping to grow toward its mature potential, allowing for a beautiful stretch of road frontage. It is a landscaping and streetscaping gem and an otherwise stark commercial corridor. Congratulations. Do you have any words to say? In closing, the CAAC appreciates the dedicated efforts of these recipients, along with all those who do their part, no matter how small it seems, to improve the appearance of our hometown. Let's keep Morganton beautiful and thriving, and if everybody could please remain up front for a group photo.
Congratulations to all the winners. Thank you. Okay, next on our agenda is additional recognition. Renee Carswell, who is our city clerk, executive assistant, has earned the designation of Certified Municipal Clerk, a CMC, awarded by the International Institute of Municipal Clerks. And she earned the designation of NC Certified Municipal Clerk, awarded by the North Carolina Association of Municipal Clerks. Congratulations, Renee. Thank you so much. Okay, next on our agenda is a proclamation for Burke County Nonprofit Day. I'd like to read that proclamation. Whereas charitable nonprofit organizations throughout Burke County save taxpayers thousands of dollars through their services and contribute significantly to the high quality of life for all citizens. And whereas these organizations are committed to serving the educational, cultural, civic, health, religious, human and animal services, recreational, philanthropic, environmental, and other diverse needs of Burke County. And whereas the staff and volunteers of all Burke County nonprofit organizations are dedicated to upholding the highest standards of community service, donating their time and effort to making a difference in the lives of others. And whereas Tuesday, December 3rd, 2024, it will be observance of Burke County NC Nonprofit Day, also known as Burke Gives, provides a unique opportunity for the citizens of Burke County to join together in appreciation and support of the many contributions made by nonprofit organizations to our continued well-being while boosting awareness for continued growth. Now, therefore, I, Ronnie Thompson, Mayor of the City of Morganton, to hereby proclaim Tuesday, December 3rd, 2024, as Burke County, North Carolina Nonprofit Day, known as One Burke County Gives, and encourage all citizens to recognize the positive impact nonprofit organizations have on the quality of life of the citizens of Burke County. I'll ask Wendy Cato to make that presentation, please.
Well, having worked in the nonprofit world, I understand everything that you do. And this is such an appropriate time that the nonprofits have switched what they were doing and trying to take care of the emergency needs. But we need to remember that in the future and as things progress, we still need the same amount of support to continue with the work that was done before the disaster. So I commend all the nonprofits and what they do for our community. And now it's time for you to tell about it, okay?
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Abby, would you like to say something? Or?
Yeah, real quickly. I'm Abigail Taylor with Burke County United Way, and I'll let you introduce yourself.
My name is Evelyn Vicente Rodriguez. I'm with the Small Business Center. I'm the social media manager, and I'm honored to be here, especially helping out for Burke One Gives.
So Evelyn has been a volunteer with United Way for a long time, and so we really appreciate her helping with Giving Day because it's a big undertaking, of course. So this will be the 5th year. We're really excited for it to be coming up on December 3rd, as you said. It's at oneburkegives.org, so write that down if you would like, put it in your phone. On that day, all 24 hours, you can go and donate as little as $5 to, we have 31 nonprofits signed up, and today was the last day. I think we might have a few more come in under the wire this evening, but we're excited to have them. So I just wanted to say that the first time that we did One Burke Gives, we did it as a response to COVID. It was in 2020. A lot of nonprofits lost their ability to hold public fundraisers, and so we decided to fairly quickly figure out some sort of solution. So this allowed an online, so a easy, safe, convenient way for nonprofits to connect with their donors and also get new donors and connect with the entire community. So the other thing I wanted to mention about it is Giving Tuesday is a worldwide celebration. A lot of other communities will be celebrating on that day. And any Burke County nonprofit, 501c3, was welcome to sign up. So every single year we welcome more and more. And we have raised up to more than $100K in one day on a giving day. So we're hoping, especially with hurricane relief, we're hoping that we can potentially top that this year. So yeah, anyone can give. You don't have to be from Burke County. So all you have to do is go online and give that day. So we really appreciate you having us, and thanks so much for this proclamation.
Abigail, thanks for all you do.
Thank you.
Next on our agenda is a proclamation, recognition of rising youth of Burke County. I'd like to read that proclamation. Whereas one of the purposes of the Morgan Human Relations Commission is to foster an open community through citizen engagement, and whereas the Morganton Human Relations Commission has a history of acknowledging individuals and organizations that have voluntarily provide services and activities that improve, strengthen, and enhance our community. And whereas Rising Youth of Burke County has given to the community by actively helping both the people and the environment in Burke County, they provide support to the local homeless and children's shelters by donating supplies and books. They support the less fortunate and work to clean the highways, embodying a spirit of service. Their vision extends beyond Burke County, hoping to inspire youth in other countries to better their communities and environment, but their efforts begin at home. As they work toward this vision, they stand firm in their values of love, kindness, and respect, believing that every individual and aspect of nature deserves to be treated with these principles. Now, therefore, be resolved that the Morganton Human Relations Council and the Morganton City Council would like to formally recognize Rising Youth of Burke County for their efforts and contributions to the enrichment of our community. I'll ask Chris Hawkins if he would make that presentation, please.
Thank you, Mayor. It's so exciting to see the young people of Morganton taking an active role in our community. So thank you for doing that, serving others and improving lives and also improving our environment. So it's an honor for me on behalf of the City of Morganton and our council to present you with this proclamation. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Janaya, Abby, Vice President. I am Malik Harris, and I am Freedom High School's representative on the Morganton's HRC. And it's honoring to be able to come and represent and honor Rising Youth. I remember just a few years ago when I was working grassroots, trying to get young people active and engaged. So it's inspiring to see that young people really are going out there and getting involved and trying to make change in our community. Right now is like a full circle moment for me because I remember when I was here just a few short years ago, receiving a proclamation for the work I'm doing. So on behalf of the HRC, it is my honor to be able to give Rising Youth this proclamation of recognition for the work that they're doing to better our community. So Janai, if you'd like to come up and give some work. She has some friends that are scared to come on up here. Y'all can come on up.
Yeah, come on up. Come on up.
Come on up here. Wow. I can come on through the front.
That's great.
Janai, would you like to say something?
Yes, sir, please.
Okay.
Good evening, everybody. My name's Janaya. I'm the president and founder of Rising Youth, and I'm a senior at Freedom High School. Since a child, I've always wanted there to be a change. I saw how cruel the world could be, therefore I wanted to make this change and have a positive impact in my community. I created Rising Youth to show people that there is good left in the world, thank you, especially in the youth. In Rising Youth, we are dedicated to bettering our community and our environment and inspiring those who will come after us to do the same. I am here with members from the organization, including Vice President Abyssinia Tillahun and Social Media Manager Simone Wright. I thank you all for this opportunity and for having us here tonight.
Thank you so much. Next on our agenda are proclamations that related to Hurricane Helene. Okay, whereas on Friday, September 27, 2024, a major storm, Hurricane Helene, impacted western North Carolina, including Burke County and the city of Morganton. And whereas Hurricane Helene caused widespread severe damage, injury, loss of life, threat to property and public safety, resulting in a state of emergency by Governor Roy Cooper and by the Burke County Commissioners. And whereas the city of Morganton immediately reached out for mutual aid for public work crews to assist with restoration of water distribution and sewer collection systems in the wake of the aftermath of Hurricane Helene. And whereas the city of Lenoir received a swift and massive response from the city of Albemarle and the city of Lenoir. And whereas the city of Morganton desires to commend and recognize these two cities for their willingness to send their crews and equipment to restore water and sewer systems to all city of Morganton customers more quickly than could have been accomplished by city crews. And whereas the unselfish support of those cities and the unwavering pride and skill exhibited by those crews is a perfect example of why the citizens of Morganton are blessed to live, work, and play in North Carolina community. Now therefore be it resolved that the City Council of Morganton hereby commend and recognize those cities for their willingness to send their crews and equipment to restore water and sewer systems to all City of Morganton customers in order to keep restoration moving forward, and invite all residents to join us in the well-deserved recognition of going, quote, above and beyond. That's for the water and sewer. I also have a proclamation dealing with the electrical. And I will read that whereas the City of Morganton immediately reached out through Electric Cities of North Carolina for mutual aid for electric crews, supplies, and equipment in the wake of aftermath of Hurricane Helene. And whereas the City of Morganton received a swift and massive response from Greenville Utilities, the City of Wilson, the City of Newton, the Town of Granite Falls, the Town of Maiden, the City of Gastonia, the City of Washington, the City of Albemarle, the City of Statesville, and the City of High Point. And whereas the City of Morganton desires to commend and recognize these towns and cities for their willingness to send their linemen much-needed supplies and equipment to restore power to all City of Morganton customers in order to keep restoration moving forward. Now therefore be it resolved that the City Council of Morganton hereby commend and recognize Electric Cities of North Carolina and these cities and towns for their willingness to send their linemen much-needed supplies and equipment to store power to all citizens of Morganton customers in order to keep restoration moving forward, and invite all our residents to join in this well-deserved recognition going above and beyond. I'd like to enter that into the minutes, please. Thank them so much. Okay. Next, I'd like to call Michael Chapman, Director of Public Works, for some announcements about debris and leaf collection. Michael, you look rested after Hurricane Helene.
I'm doing a lot better now. Good evening, Mayor, members of council. Just wanted to give you a quick update on leaf collection. Last council meeting in October, Sally announced that we were going to hold off on leaf collection services to allow our contractors to get some of the debris off the streets. In many cases, there was a lot of folks didn't even have room to put their leaves at the street because we had so much debris. So now, since they're starting to move some of the debris, we have decided to pick our leaf services back up, and in midweek, we plan to try to get some of our leaf trucks back out on the street. We plan to start running our normal routes, although we expect it to take much longer than normal. There's still a lot of debris out there, so we do ask citizens to please separate it. If they have a place to separate the leaves from the debris piles, the brush piles, that will make this process much faster. So
no sticks in the leaf pile, correct?
That's correct. That's correct. The leaf trucks, we have 4 leaf trucks, and they operate just like a vacuum cleaner. So if there's any even sticks need to be separated, they can damage the trucks.
Michael, thanks so much.
And this may be a good time for me to throw in debris removal. I know we've had a couple folks here tonight asking. So as Michael alluded to, there is still a lot of storm debris on our sidewalks, in people's front yards, in some cases creeping into the roadways. And as we discussed last month, there is a contractor who has been hired through Burke County that all the cities in Burke County have joined with, who is in charge of picking up that storm debris. And they are working, as a matter of fact, today at the update, there are 20 trucks that are currently working with the debris hauler. I know it's frustrating and I know it's messy, and it is killing us because we never look this way. And our knuckle boom operators say every day how stressed out they are because they want to get out there and get that stuff. The reality is, in this situation, we cannot do that. That has to be tagged and coded and inventoried, and the hauler has to pick that up. The City of Morganton is not allowed to pick that up. because that is a part of the storm contract and the debris removal, following all the requirements so that ultimately those expenses can be reimbursed and will not cost the taxpayers here to do that. So be patient. I know it's a mess and it's frustrating.
Yeah, please
And-
be patient, even with the leaf collection.
Yeah.
It's going to take some time.
Thank you, Michael. Upcoming events, Art in the Hall in November, the Western North Carolina Sculpture Center, which includes aluminum pour. It's an exhibition that includes cast iron, steel fabrication, stone, cast bronze, mixed media sculptures, and wall works. Our farmers market, Saturday, December 23rd, is from 10 a.m. to November 23rd, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at 111 North Green Street. Our winter carnival is going to be Saturday, November 23rd, 2:30 to 5:30 on the Courthouse Square. Small Business Saturday is Saturday, November 30th, 2024. At our Performing Arts Center, the Jazz Ambassadors of the U.S. Army Field Band is going to be there Friday, November 8th, 2024, at 7:30. And the Holiday Spectacular with the Western Piedmont Symphony is Wednesday, December the 18th at 7:30 p.m. Next on our agenda, the North Carolina Municipal Power Agency. Sally, do we have an update?
Nothing at this time.
We have a consent agenda of 4 items. Sally, would you cover that, please?
We do. Those items include the minutes from the October 7th meeting, consideration of awarding a contract for us to purchase a compost and a conveyor for the wastewater treatment plant. That is a planned purchase and is within our budgeted amount. It is for an amount not to exceed $419,604. Also approving a resolution appointing Benjamin Ely as a plat review officer to be able to do that according to general statute. And then to award a contract for improvements to the tennis courts and the outdoor basketball courts for the Bethel Park project. These are a part of the park improvements that we turned in to get our Partif grant. And so we are now getting to awarding contracts for those parts. This is in an amount not to exceed $206,930.
Do any members of council wish to have any items removed from the consent agenda? If not, I'll entertain a motion for the consent agenda.
So moved.
Thank you, Wendy. I have a motion to have a second.
Second.
Thank you, Butch. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Okay, under new business, our first item of business is the consideration of appointing a full-time city attorney. Okay. Personnel, would y'all like to make a report?
We were not. Well, we've gone through the process of interviewing five or six candidates, and we have finally made a decision. Our candidate of choice has accepted the position, and so we are grateful to announce that Keith Bigsby will be our city attorney.
Okay, thank you so much. Keith
And
Rigsby.
Keith is
I
here
believe Keith
tonight.
is here in the, Keith, will you please stand so people know who to call? Keith, would you like to say a word or two?
You may want to take your vote.
Yeah, I think you have to.
Oh, yeah, maybe we ought to vote first,
You
Keith.
have to like officially appoint him.
All in favor of Keith? Oh,
Somebody needs to make a motion.
I make a motion that we accept Keith Rigsby as the.
You're basically appointing him.
okay, I have a motion to have a second.
Second.
Thank you, Chris. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Keith, it's your turn.
Thank you. I'd just like to say it's my honor to have been invited by the city council and the city leadership to participate with and work alongside all of you, a team that has guided the city of Morganton so successfully. Morganton is my home, both personally and professionally speaking. I grew up in this area. I live here in Morganton now, and I have for many years. My wife and I raised our children here, and I've also worked here in this area since returning from law school at Wake Forest in 1990. And during that time, I personally witnessed the many advances and successes made by the city and its leadership. The city has developed and grown in so many ways during that time. Let me also say that more recently it has been my personal observation that the city has excelled in working through all of the many levels of challenges and adversity presented by the severe damage caused by Hurricane Helene. And to me, this demonstrates that the city has a strong, dedicated, and cohesive workforce at all levels. I welcome the opportunity to work with the city's leadership, staff, and personnel, and thank you for inviting me to do that.
Thank you and welcome. Thank you. I do want to
And he's going to start in December, so.
Starting in December, okay. And I do want to thank Personnel Committee for their exhaustive search. A job well done, thank you.
It was not, Keith, it was not an easy process, was.
Next on our agenda is consideration of a budget amendment to establish a project fund for Hurricane Helene storm-related expenses. Sally?
So this is something that we are going to continue to talk about for some time to come. Last month, I gave you basically a blow-by-blow update of our response and really the response in restoring our infrastructure and getting over the emergency part of the storm and then starting the restoration of facilities and damage to our infrastructure. Now we're moving into recovery, and recovery will be extensive and it will not be something that happens immediately. What we are doing with this budget amendment, which is $2.1 million, is setting up the initial spending authority for us to start to respond to what is required now and to pay for the bills that are now coming in for our initial emergency efforts. I'm going to ask for everybody's patience again, and we have another item coming up that we're going to talk about too. I think this is something that we really haven't been through as a community. Thankful for everyone's recognitions of the hard work that has gone on thus far. I will say to you that there is a lot of hard work left to go, that we are looking at something. We are not going to be September the 26th in a matter of weeks. We are going to work toward being better than September 26th, but it is going to take some time, and it is going to take years. And I said years, not weeks, not months. And we're just starting the process. And I know that folks are frustrated. I'm hearing it every day. I hear it from you when I'm out and about. We hear it from you in our emails. We hear it in our phone calls. It probably doesn't make you feel any better to hear that we also are frustrated, and that if I could twitch my nose like Bewitched and we could be back to September 26th, I would do that immediately. But we truly cannot. I hear it about our park system. I hear it about the Greenway. Folks, that's a long time coming, and I know that is hard to accept. And I am just asking you again to exercise caution, to be safe. Some of our facilities are still under assessment, and they're not safe to use and to be around. And we don't want to turn, I said it last time, we don't want more tragedy in what's already a fairly tragic event. So when we put up the cattle fencing, when we put up the caution tape, when we ask you not to use it, there's a reason. It's not because we don't want you to get to enjoy it. It's not because we don't know that you're a taxpayer and you pay for it, because I can assure you we do. It's because we're concerned about the safety of that park, that facility, that structure, and we want to make sure that it's able to accept your use in a safe manner before we let that happen. And there are a lot of steps to be followed. So tonight we're doing this budget amendment. This is one of what will be quite a few. This is initial spending authority, $1 million in electric, $500,000 in wastewater, $250,000 in water, $250,000 in the general fund, and $100,000 in Compass. And this is really just to let us start paying the bills that we are receiving now. I can tell you that we are in full-fledged assessment, and that I have no doubt that when this is over and we are looking toward our restoration and recovery efforts, facilities-wise and all that, we are going to be somewhere north of $15-20 million in the city of Morganton, and it may be higher. And that doesn't count lost revenues, and that doesn't count many other things that are on the list that keep me awake at night. So when I say to you again that this is large, and we're talking about our community cash flowing this, because even if we're successful in getting grant dollars and FEMA reimbursements, and we will be successful for some of that, it's a reimbursement basis. So we got to write the checks first and then get in the money. And I can assure you there is a large group of us working toward that. And I know that sounds very preachy, and it may be, but I guess I am, because we need your support for the rest of this now. I think we have felt the support of this community. We have felt the thankfulness. We have all felt each other supporting each other, but we're not done with that. So asking everybody to keep up with that and to support us as we move forward in this and then try to rebuild the Morganton that we all love and that we work in, play in, that visitors love, and we want that back as fast as possible.
What's the wish of council?
I know it's not my usual thing to spend money, but I'll enter the motion to approve establishing a project fund for Hurricane Helene storm-related expenses.
Thank you, Butch. I have a motion. To have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Chris. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Next is a budget amendment to accept a private donation. Sally?
So we're still talking about the storm. As I said last time, a lot of generosity has been shown in this event to individual members of the community, to the city, the entity, the folks who work here, and we are accepting a donation of $500 from one of our vendors that is going to be used toward an appreciation luncheon for our employees that worked in the storm response, and we just needed to approve a budget amendment for that.
What's the wish of council?
Motion to approve a budget amendment accepting a private donation in the amount of $500 to be used for an appreciation luncheon for city staff.
Thank you, Wendy. I have a motion. To have a second?
Second.
Thanks, Chris. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Next on our agenda is the green sheet that was handed out.
Yeah, so you have a corrected copy that is more accurate. So we talked earlier about the fact that we are now just starting in the recovery process in what is going to be a bit of a complicated and a bit of a lengthy process. And so one of the ways that we are moving forward is the city and the county issued a joint request for proposal for a comprehensive disaster recovery management service, an entity to be our consultant through this process. In the process, we had 10 proposals that were received. The city and the county decided that we wanted to do this together because we believe that there's a benefit in the city and the county having the same consultant working with us. That was narrowed down to 4 finalists. Interviews were done, and we have chosen DCMC Partners to be our partner in this. We have with us tonight Steve Glenn, who is a part of that, to come and talk for just a few minutes about this partnership that we're entering into. Today is day one.
Steve, welcome.
Thank you, Your Honor, and we appreciate your all's time tonight to talk to you. I'm Steve Glenn. I represent DCMC Partners. We're a crisis counseling, crisis management firm that does disaster-related relief activities all over the United States, Guam, Puerto Rico, Haiti, and we're a smaller firm. We are founded by a bunch of old FEMA people. But I actually started off my young career as riding the back of a fire truck in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and got into emergency management. I've been doing this for 36 years. I had the honor and the privilege of being an assistant director with North Carolina Emergency Management for several years, as the chief of recovery. So I headed up all the public assistance and individual assistance programs for the state of North Carolina for several years before I went to FEMA, where I was an infrastructure branch chief out of FEMA Region 4. I oversaw all the public assistance grant programs in the Southeast for several years, and our partners, Mark Merritt, and Barry Scanlon, and formerly Drew Sachs, were all senior executive service personnel with FEMA. They were with the WIT administration. I was a little bit later, so I'm not that old. So we're all old FEMA folks. So we're delighted and we're honored to support my home state from North Carolina as you guys move through your recovery process, which will take years, and it is significant. I think you hit the nail on the head. If you think that you've opened up the nut to see what was inside, you haven't seen anything yet. This is a long journey, and it's a tough journey, and so we're delighted to be part of this journey with you, and hopefully we'll help to speed it up through active partnerships with state and FEMA. We're looking forward to working with everybody. So I'm here to answer questions if you have them.
Any questions for Steve?
We were real appreciative and impressed in the interview that the word that kept coming up with DCMC was partner. We want to be your partner in this.
It's gotta be.
And stand by us. And obviously, FEMA reimbursements and those kinds of things are important, looking at our facilities that have been damaged and what changes may need to be made to those to make them better, and funding for those things are important. These guys told us that if the FEMA route is not the right route, they have resources to help us find another one.
Yep.
And that was one of the things that sold us on this too. And so we're looking forward to our relationship. They talked in the interview about getting into communities and caring about them and attending the baptisms and attending the birthday parties and all those things. And for the staff members of us who were interviewing them, we were like, it's our kind of folks, because that's what we like to do, right? We like to make you love us as much as we love ourselves, and that way you'll work really hard for us.
Or those Irish cousins will show up for food. And if I have to go to the apple orchard and eat all the apple butter there every day of my life for the next year, by God, I'm
It'll be
going
all
to
right.
dedicate myself to that service. So,
Okay, what's the wish of council?
Make a motion to approve negotiating a contract with DCMC Partners as disaster response and recovery consultant, and to authorize the mayor and/or city manager to negotiate terms and to sign such contract and any other necessary documents.
Thank you, Chris. Have a motion to have a second.
Second.
Thanks, Chris. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Welcome to
Steve,
the
thanks
team.
so much.
thank you for your confidence.
We have city appointments, the terms, city council appointment, in terms of Historic Preservation Commission. Darren Latham, Dottie Irvin, and Joan Malik have expired. What's the wish of council?
I'll make a motion to reappoint Darren Latham, Dottie Irvin, and Joan Malak to the Historic Preservation Commission for a term to expire November the 8th, 2027.
Thank you. I have a motion to have a second.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any other business come before council? Please vote. Keith?
30-day notice of
Oh, yeah.
community house.
Building board.
Where is it? Yes, the community house is a 30-day notice of vacancies coming up for that. Again, remember to vote. Keith, welcome. Glad to have you on board. We are adjourned.